Hi everybody, welcome to the second part of the Hudson Valley Sports Report Dream Team. You may have already seen our Dream Team and the expansive list of players and the wealth of talent on that team, but you know, every team needs a great coach. And we had a tough time with this one, trying to figure out who the coach of the year could be. There were arguments for so many different coaches for so many different reasons. Take Jerry North and what he did to kind of stabilize Poughkeepsie and get their football program back on track. Or how about Clinton D'Souza from Spackenkill and the turnaround season that they had thanks to his leadership. Talk about leadership. How about Rich Ward from Marlboro, who's won 5 championships in a row? How do you argue against that? Well, the only way to do it is the guy who took his team to the Carrier Dome. And that is Brian Walsh, and Rich Tomaselli is with him right now.
All right, thank you, Charlie. I am with Brian Walsh. Brian, congratulations on Coach of the Year for the Hudson Valley Sports Report Dream Team.
Thank you very much.
It was a phenomenal year, obviously. Let's start right at the beginning. Actually, let's push back from the beginning. Let's go back to last spring when Section 1 decided you were going to go move up to Class A. And then you open up the season with a loss. So at that point, are you thinking, oh boy, are we in over our heads here?
Well, a little bit. I mean, my biggest concern after the Yorktown game was the health of my quarterback. He got injured in the first play of the second quarter, so I was very concerned about that. But you know, coming into the season, we thought we'd be competitive with the skill kids we had this year. My big concern was not this year; it was down the line in terms of being in Class A. But this year, it's certainly, you know, I know everybody was, I don't know if they were surprised, but they thought my concerns were unfounded.
Well, you weren't surprised, and a lot of the kids weren't surprised. Now, some of that, especially with the kids, is probably a little bit bravado. Hey, I know we could play in that level or whatever, but it really didn't faze them, did it? No,
it didn't. They're very, the group of seniors I had this year was a very competitive group of kids, and, you know, especially our captains. So they took it on from the very beginning as a challenge. You know, they were actually looked forward to it.
Talk a little bit about, I had asked some of the kids leading into the state tournament, to the state finals, you know, where did you get that sense was that this could be a special year, or that you could compete at any level? And they actually said it was a loss. They actually said the Rye game taught them that, you know, we're right there. We are at the top of the level, and we can go as far as we can go.
Yeah, well, as I said, after the Yorktown game, we were very concerned because our quarterback was injured. But then we got good news on that. And then we put together a couple of wins. And then when we played Rye, we played them in the rain. It was a very nasty night.
It was a miserable day.
Yeah, it was a miserable night. And we had trouble, running the ball and throwing. And, you know, we had difficulty running the ball this year a lot, but our throwing game gave people problems. That particular night, obviously, it really, we were pretty frustrated. But once that game was over, we felt that we held them, to 2 touchdowns. They were a very good football team. So we thought that we could hang in there with anybody.
There had been much made, Brian, during the course of the season from the historical aspect. First team from Dutchess County in almost 20 years. First Lord's team to advance that far since they started the state playoff system. Did you get a chance to enjoy the season? Were you caught up in a lot of that stuff, and did you ever feel any pressure that, well, we've made it this far, we got to win now?
No, I really didn't. I've been doing this a long time, and I've really gotten to the point over the years where I really focus in on one game at a time, whether it's a regular season game, a non-league game, a playoff game, a championship game. I think I've gotten pretty good at staying focused on one game and really kind of staying present in the moment. I love going out every day preparing. I love going to practice. It's not just a game. So for me, I didn't really get caught up in it. And I know as a coach that, everything's passing. Right. Next year it'll be different. And but it was sure a lot of fun working with this group of kids. Very enthusiastic group. They had a great work ethic, and they really responded to our coaching. And that to me again, win or lose is very rewarding.
Did you take away, every team, and you've coached a lot of teams, every team has its own quirks or personality?
Oh, absolutely.
Did you have any special memories of this group? Or
Well, I guess my biggest memory.
who's walking around with a walking stick? Who's,
That, he asked if that was okay. About halfway through the season, he came up with that. I'm still not quite sure what the whole significance there is, but he asked if he could do it, and I always tell the kids it's their team. It's really not my team. I plan on coaching, more years, and I've coached a lot, but for them it's a very special period of time in their life, so I really like to, give them ownership of the team. And so if something's appropriate, if something is, as long as, if it's not inappropriate, I pretty much let them do it, so.
And I had a chance to be up there with you for those couple days leading up to kickoff of the state championship game, and you really seem to not go out of your way, that's probably not the right term, but you really seem to make sure that they enjoyed everything, that the ride was fun, that the movies that you picked were, funny movies, that the dinner in the hotel when we were up there, when we had first arrived, that, the kids had a lot of fun and camaraderie. Was that important to you, that they enjoy the experience?
Yes, because again, I had been there, twice before when I was coaching at Brewster, and it's very special because a lot of people don't get a chance to get up there at all. So just to make it up there, a lot of good football teams never make it up there. So just to make it up there is, I think, a big deal, and I wanted them to just enjoy the whole experience, from the, the preparations to just being in a Carrier Dome. I just kept telling them to, be appreciative, to be grateful for where they're at, and to don't have any regrets in terms of how they play. So, I think they did. I think they had a good time. I think they, from the feedback I've gotten, I think it was a great experience for them.
And a final question: take us, now that we're kind of removed from the game and a little bit more than a month away now. Take us through what happened when that locker room door shut after they had to watch the other team accept their awards and see the state championship trophy go to South Park, mingle with some parents who may have got onto the field, certainly us as reporters. Once that locker room door closed, what was it like behind closed doors? Was it emotional? Was it difficult for you?
It was emotional for me because I didn't want to see the season end, and I never like to see the season end. Well, I don't want to say ever, because there have been some seasons that
you couldn't wait to end.
Certain difficulties that you don't necessarily mind seeing it end. But with this particular group, I just enjoyed every game. I enjoyed preparing. I enjoyed working with the kids. So I didn't really want to see it end, but it's important to get closure, and it's important for them to get some perspective on the game, and really for them to come back the way they did. You have to remember where we were at halftime in that game, and I thought it was a very good football team that we played, and for our kids to come back and battle back, and really we had a shot to win it. We had to play a little better defense, and our kicking game needed to be better, but we were right there, and for the kids to be in that position, I think, considering where we were at halftime, showed a lot of character on their part, and I wanted them to make sure that they came away feeling good about themselves.
Well, you took us all on a great ride, and we appreciate it, and then you're the Coach of the Year.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.